the story is Prodigal Son. Even if you're not Christian, you may have heard the story. So, I mean, the basic facts are wealthy farmer has two sons, gives them both, some inheritance. One goes off for some number of years and blows the inheritance and comes back. And the common story would be, the father graciously forgave the son that came back, right? I mean, that would be a nice story. But the interesting part of the story was that he not only welcomed this wandering son back, but he treated him lavishly, right? And the other son, who was the good son, was there all along. Said, what's going on? He squandered his fortune, and here he's back, and you're treating him better than you ever treated me. So that's the interesting part of the story. And the stories, if we look at this in terms of awakening, then we can see the deeper meaning of the story. So the story is actually in response to what we were talking about the other night, which was, if the destiny in life is to wake up, why do we have to go through this trance state, that we can call conditioning or ego? What's the point of all of that? And so this going away from home, in a sense, is, leaving ourselves, going in search of something that will give us pleasure, happiness, whatever, and then coming home again, coming home to oneself. And but the fact that this one son went out and risked everything to find out something, followed his desires, followed his instincts, followed his dreams, followed his hopes, and went out and explored life, risked everything, lost everything. Really fully explored life, right? Other son sort of played it safe, didn't color outside the lines. But you can sort of feel underneath that, playing safe, being protective of his inheritance, wanting to please the father. Can you sense just really just underneath that, there's that fear of, will he disown me? Will I lose everything? I got to play it safe. I don't want to risk it. So from that perspective, the father in this story, had enough wisdom to see the courageousness of his one son. It didn't matter that he lost the fortune. It was like he was out there, he took chances, he lived life fully, he explored down every road that he thought would bring him happiness, and still returned home empty-handed. But wiser. So in a sense, this whole journey in life to find out what it's really about, if we fully utilize it, that's sort of what happens. We try this. We try. Maybe in high school we try sports or popularity, or dating, or and then we try career and family and civic responsibilities and respectability, and we try these different things, you know, and all of those things are fine. It's all part of life, right? But in each case, what we don't find, we can find a lot of things, but what we don't find is ultimate resolution of whatever it is that we're looking for. And, so we back up and we try something else. And if we're lucky, if we're really lucky, we run out of options. We get to the point where we're unable to convince ourselves that if we go down that next road, there's going to be the pot of gold at the end of that road, if we're lucky. And it doesn't sound like a fortunate spot, but it is almost as if life, through all seeming randomness, paints you into a corner. And it's not like the egoic mind gives up easily. I mean, we can imagine that we're on this quest for awakening, but there's also always something in there where we're sort of, weighing the odds, if I'm going to give up my ego, what exactly am I going to get in return? It's like, it's not like just we're not really willing to abandon ourselves for just any old thing. We've spent a lot of time working on this. We may not like every aspect of it, but we've invested a lot in it. So even though it's not working perfectly, there's still some rough edges, we're not too sure we want to give it away too easily, right? Does anybody feel like that? Or so we imagine, okay, maybe I'll give up my ego if I can get enlightened. It's like wanting to trade in your Ford for a Mercedes. It's like I'll trade it in, but as long as I get something of equal or greater value, then maybe. The problem is you don't quite know what you're going to get back. So in the end, it can, as you come right up to that precipice, it can feel like I'm risking everything. And I have no idea what that next step will be. And that's the truth. You don't know. And that's literally stepping into the unknown, stepping beyond a point where you know what the answer is, you know what the outcome is. But for some unreasonable, not rational nudge, you take the step anyway. It's almost like it's not even courage, it's just like, I've got to know. And a step happens. It doesn't happen even of your own volition. You don't actually know why it happens. But it can happen. But it tends to happen only as a last resort. Only after we've tried every other possibility to sort of work it out under our own conditions, under our own willpower. It's generally only when all of that fails that we're willing to step into the unknown. And so if we're really, really fortunate, life will play this chess game where it corners us, and basically checkmates us. There's no way out. If there was a way out, we'd take it, right? So this idea of journeying off in life and trying all these different things, I mean, in a sense, we're sort of checking off, okay, that was fun, enjoyable, maybe some heartache along the way, but I've explored that avenue, and I know what's down that road, and it's interesting, and has lessons to learn, but it's not where ultimate peace, contentment, comfort in my own skin, that doesn't lie at the end of that road. So we look at another road. So if we're really actively engaging in life, it's we've explored a lot of these different paths, and all of them can yield joy. I mean, it's some of the pleasures of being alive, right? And we might discover, yeah, wonderful, interesting, lovely, I'm glad I had that experience, and I'm still looking for something deeper, something more. So that's fortunate. That's a wise use of this lifetime. And when we've explored enough roads, then we begin to lose life sort of loses its ability to entrance us.